Hola. Today we are going to talk about The Artist's Way, which is a book that I am currently reading, and my husband actually bought me this book. I remember I asked for it one night and he has Amazon Prime. Literally, he ordered it the next day. It was waiting for me next to my coffee. So this is definitely one of the most beautiful gifts I have gotten. But inside of the book, there is I think it would be like chapter 2, where it's called Basic Tools, and it goes over morning pages. Now, morning pages is not a new concept for me. I've read other authors who also suggest or maybe borrow from The Artist's Way and morning pages. Okay, so highly successful people that use morning pages or advocate for morning pages include Julia Cameron, who is the writer of The Artist's Way, James Clear, another writer who also prides himself on clarity and consistency, Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Workweek, love him. He is all about efficacy and being efficient, so also uses morning pages. Natasha Graziano, she is one of my favorites, but she uses scripting, so that's another different kind of morning pages, but I love her and I love her method. Oprah and Brain Brown, and I'm gonna give you the science now. So one of the reasons for doing morning pages is because of the mental or cognitive offloading. So what does this mean? Sometimes we have ruminating thoughts. Ruminating thoughts is when you have repeating thoughts, obsessive thoughts. You just can't stop thinking about it. You just can't stop thinking about it. So one of the ways to stop is to just write it out. Just write out the thoughts until eventually, they stop and you're like, all right, I've written about this 10 days in a row. But it's a really good way to visually observe your thoughts, which leads me into emotional regulation. Eventually, you start to see patterns. You start to see, wow, I'm a really positive thinker, or I'm a really negative thinker, or I keep thinking about this. Because you are visually observing your thoughts, you can visually see what you are thinking. So that's another reason why I advocate for morning pages. Okay, so I've given you some science-backed hacks on like why this works, but really the reason why it matters is because you're not just venting to a piece of paper. You're actually reprogramming and rewiring and being an active observer of the things you write about. Maybe not that day. Maybe you have your brain dump, you go downstairs, you drink your water, you drink your coffee, but after days, you really start to see pattern recognition. You really start to see your patterns and your thoughts and the way you're programming your brain. And then you can make the conscious choice to write different things, to say different things in your mind, to say, this is actually not truth. What was I thinking? There's a lot of times where I've had that, like, what was I thinking? What were you thinking, Val? So you have a lot of those aha moments. So now I have some questions for you guys. I really am trying to lead with intention, and I'm really trying to, give you guys as much feedback about yourselves. So what do you do when you first wake up? Do you check your phone? Start looking over other people's requests? Do this, do that, answer this email, call this person, and you just wake up and you're already on somebody's time? Or do you wake up, do you go to yourself internally and ask yourself, what am I thinking? What do I want? What's bothering me? What do I want to do? And so it is that time of serving yourself and asking yourself internal, deep questions, spending that time with yourself. You don't have to write for an hour. You don't have to write for 10 minutes. You just got to write. For me, that's how I usually do it. Questions. What other questions could we ask? Do you journal? Have you tried morning pages? What have you gotten from this? Or do you plan on maybe incorporating some of these things? Let me know. I would like to know what you do, how we can grow together. And ultimately, I just want all of us to succeed. All right, you guys, sending you guys so much love. Till